Hello student, this is Archana Vasantara Sonpasare and today this is our second lecture of business legislation. Okay, today we are actually start with our unit number 1, that is Companies Act 1956. Shortly we are going to see the introduction of Companies Act. Okay, so this Companies Act 1956 constitutes the company law in India. It actually came into force with effect from 1st of April 1956. It is a consolidating act which presents the whole body of a company law in a complete form and repeals earlier Companies Act and subsequent amendment. These Companies Act 1956 contain 658 sections and 15 schedules and numerous forms. Company law is fast developing in order to protect joint stock companies. Company law is not a field of legislation in which finality is to be expected, as the law falls to be applied to a growing and a changing subject matter and growing uses of the company system as an instrument of a business and finance and the possibilities of abuse inherent in that system. Okay, now the objectives of the company law. See here, the objectives are given. The first objective is to protect the interest of shareholders. Okay, so the shareholders who are invested their amount in a company, the first objective of the company law is to protect the interest of that shareholders. Then second, to safeguard the interest of creditors. So whatever the creditors interest, that is going to be safeguarded, protected by this Companies Act 1956. Then third, to help the development of companies in India on healthy lines. Okay, so what are the companies are incorporated in the India? The through Companies Act 1956, that is going to be help for healthy business environment. Fourth, to develop the attainment of ultimate ends of the social as well as economic policy of the government. Okay, so what are the various social and economic policy of the government that is going to be achieved, or for to achieve that all the policies or the end goal, these Companies Act 1956 help to the government. And the last objective, to equip the government with the necessary powers to intervene directly into affairs of the company in public interest. Okay, so here is the rights are given to the government for public interest. To safeguard the public interest, the government can interfere directly into the affairs of the company. Now we are going to see the special features of Companies Act 1956. Okay, so the first feature, it provides more stringent provisions relating to the company promoters and company management. So special feature of the company is first for the company management, who are the promoters or the directors of the company. Some stringent provisions relating to them provided in this act. Then second, it provides elaborate provisions relating to the form and content of prospectus, maintenance of accounts by company, reduction of a share capital. So these are the various aspects of the company, like prospectus, maintenance of books of account of the company, then reduction of a share capital, then issue of shares. These are the various content, and that is going to be provided in a elaborated provision through this act. Then third, this act recognizes the institution of government companies in which government hold at least 51% of share capital and make special provision for them. So that institute where the government invested their 51% share in that share capital, the act recognize and make a special provision for them. Okay. Next, the act also provides measures calculated to disintegrate the concentration of economic power and wealth which affect the public interest adversely. Okay, so here is the measure provided by this act, that whatever the policies or various economic powers are there which are going to affect the public interest adversely, that is going to be protected by this act. Okay, there are various measures provided to protect the public interest. Then fifth, it gives extensive powers to the central government and the company law board of the act that a public company should be regarded as a national asset and not as something of exclusive concern to the shareholder or the director. So some extensive powers are provided to the central government and company law board through this act for national asset and not as the something exclusive concern to the shareholders or the director. Now we are going to see the various definitions and meaning of company. Okay, so as per the company law, here is the meaning of given of a company. You all know what is the meaning of company. So the term company means an association of a group of persons who have come together for a common purpose, that is to do business and earn profit. So what is the meaning of company? It means it is what an association of a group of persons where they comes together and invested their money and money worth, okay, to get a common purpose, that is to achieve the profit and to do business. Okay, then definition of a company as per the section 220, a company means a company which is incorporated under this act or under any previous company act. Okay, so what is the definition given in section 220 of the Companies Act 1956? It is given that company means a company which is incorporated under the Companies Act 1956 or whichever the previous company act, that is known as the company. Okay, and the last definition given by Lord Justice Lindley, a company is an association of many persons who contributed money or money's worth to a common stock and employ it in some trade or business and who share profit and loss arising therefrom. Okay, so according to Justice Lord Lindley, the definition given that company is nothing but it is an association of many persons who comes together and contributed their money and money worth to a common stock, and that common stock is going to be employed in the trade or in business, and afterwards there is the whatever profit and loss arises, that is going to be shared by that organization of a people or by that association of a many person is known as the company. Okay, so for today's lecture, this is the short introduction and definition meaning of the company. Now we are going to stop here, and next we are going to see the various features of company.